James Ronnie, welcome into the Better Baseball MLB DFS podcast and live stream. Today, we are previewing the early slate for Wednesday. 7 games kicking off at 1 o'clock Eastern time. James, a little afternoon day baseball for those getting through the work week.
Yeah, afternoon baseball. We'll also cover the main slate starting at 7:05 p.m. Eastern on the live stream, kicking off at 5 p.m. Eastern. John and I will be back then. But for now, 7-gamer, pretty interesting slate. Some good teams, some rain potentially in the forecast. No cores is always wonderful. So let's just dive into Vegas real quick and take a look at what we have over there. Lance Lynn and the Chicago White Sox minus 135 favorites in DraftKings Sportsbook over the Los Angeles Angels. The Tampa Bay Rays are road favorites minus 135 in Wrigley Field. Jared Schuster and the Atlanta Braves, to no one's surprise, minus 215 on DraftKings Sportsbook in Oakland. The San Francisco Giants are slight favorites against Pittsburgh. It's Patrick Corbin Day, although that doesn't have the same meaning as it once did. The Dodgers are still minus 240 at home. In terms of over-under, we have 9.5 implied runs in Washington Dodgers, 9 implied runs in Atlanta Oakland, 9 implied runs in Angels White Sox. Those are the most notable game totals we have on the board.
Let's get into it, man. We got a big slate here, 7 games. And when I say big slate, it's actually kind of loaded with pitching. We have oftentimes slates where, we're like, you know what? Pitching kind of stinks. We're kind of scrounging around here. But Mitch Keller, pretty good. Zach Eflin against the Cubs, usable. Shane Bieber, Justin Steele, not a bad little top end tier here. How are you ranking out them top 4 starters?
I would say, good pitchers, but not like the easiest spots. Like Keller has the highest ceiling, I'd say, of the bunch, because his strikeout upside has just been nuts over his last 6 starts, 8+. Even in a start, he gave up 6 earned against Seattle, 15.5 fantasy points because he had 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. So I'll go Keller 1, Bieber 2. I don't even know if I can go Bieber 2 because the strikeouts are just non-existent.
Bieber, the strikeouts have not been there for Shane Bieber this year.
Who's Eflin 2? Maybe just
listen. It's terrifying seeing a guy with 0 strikeouts, but he had 10, 9, and 8 in 3 of the previous 4.
He looked good in that start too against Toronto. He just didn't strike anyone out. Like he 7 innings, 1 run. He just didn't miss any bats. He has the best win equity, I'd say.
Probably.
Just on a game-to-game basis because, they're just the best team in baseball. So I'll still go Keller 1, Eflin 2, then Bieber. Just as they're priced, I guess. That's fine.
Okay, that works for me. Mid-tier guys here. Looking down, you have Lance Lynn, you have Jaime Barria, Dane Dunning, Noah Syndergaard in that 8 to 7K range. Obviously, Lynn's dealing with Trout. He's dealing with Ohtani. We had targeted him for a while there, going against. Last 3 starts, though. Cleveland, Kansas City, Detroit, not the top end, not the best matchups for really toughest matchups, rather, but 3 earned runs allowed, 4 earned runs allowed over those 3 starts, but he allowed 8 actual runs. So only 4 of them were earned. Yep. 8 runs are scored on his watch here. 5 walks in the most recent outing, so not like the greatest. Not the greatest option there. Barria went down and shut down Boston in his start prior to the 1 inning appearance against Miami. So do you get 5 innings? Do you get 1 inning? Like, what are we thinking out of Barria here?
I don't know. Even if there was he's just been capped at 64 pitches. So at 7,900, what are we really going to get? Is he going to get 75 pitches? Maybe. Lynn, to his credit, he's pitched well, but to your point, terrible offenses, all 3 of them. So take that for what it's worth. He got shelled against Kansas City the start prior he made, right? Beat up against Kansas City or Cincinnati, beat up against Tampa, Toronto, Philly, pretty much every start until this recent stretch. So if you want to go there, be my guest. LA is about middle of the pack in every category offensively. Honestly, it's the answer here is probably Dane Dunning in the mid tier, who continues to just pitch well. He's not missing bats like he used to, but double digit fantasy points in 4 straight starts. He has wins in 3 of his last 5 games. He hasn't lost yet this year. And what the leap that Dunning took from pitches 71, 72, 71, 92, 97 feels really, really good going up against one of the worst offenses in baseball. So who, by the way, might be without Riley Green, who left Tuesday's game with an injury. So
Yeah.
if they're without Riley Green as well, Detroit is the Zach McKinstry's at this point, and that's not exactly the most
Miggy was
scary.
driving in runs today, and I haven't seen
Yeah,
that guy had an RBI in forever. And then Noah Syndergaard's been absolute trash here, but he's got Washington. They're home. Yeah. Any at all interest?
No, I think Washington. I'd rather target Washington than target Syndergaard. Okay. Truthfully, I would go back to you made a strong case for Alex Wood last time around, and I didn't listen, and he paid off in spade. 20 fantasy
5 walks
points
again. Like frustrating that he's not walking anybody. He faces Milwaukee. He walks 5. Milwaukee. You know what? Maybe Alex Wood, lefty against Milwaukee, just walked 5. Yusei Kikuchi, lefty against Milwaukee, walked 5 today. Maybe
coming around.
Yeah, maybe the plate discipline here for Milwaukee starting to come around here. But listen, the one thing I'll say about Pittsburgh, we talk about it, like they do have some guys that can hit lefties in their lineup.
Lefties, yep.
But I like that they're in San Francisco here. It's a pitcher's park, and I do think Alex Wood's a decent talent. Plus 93 pitches, right? Like that's huge.
Yep.
Because we were worried, and one of the reasons you were worried was the pitch count. 71 or 72, 74 pitches in the 2 previous starts there. But getting up to 93 should mean the training wheels are off here. Okay. So if he can pitch deep into this game at $6,800, should give him a good chance for a win. He got 20 fantasy points there in that last outing. So I definitely like this one for sure.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh has fallen back a little bit in lefties. They're 14th in OPS, and they rank the same in WOBA. So middle of the pack against left-handed pitching.
And then what do we do with Jared Schuster?
He's been pretty decent, and he has the best matchup on the board.
That's what I'm saying, right?
But I mean, Oakland hasn't been as good against lefties because Brent Rooker has fallen off a cliff, and Seth Brown they now put in their lineup lefty. So they're obviously not as good. They're 16th in OPS. Schuster's going to be popular. He's going to be popular.
Yeah, mid slate 7 games. He's got Oakland, right? And
he's Oakland. Yep, just by default.
He's going to draw eyeballs there. And now win equity, too. I mean, listen, is he going to go out like he did against Seattle? I mean, he could. Certainly could. So, but even if he got a win against Philly there, you're looking at 18 fantasy points. All he has to do is go 5 2/3, 3-earned run. So, doesn't need to dominate here in a good spot to get a win against Oakland. And I don't think we're looking below Corbin, Wentz, Voth, Caprillion. We out here?
Shout out to Corbin for pitching well lately, not playing him against the Dodgers.
Correct. I would agree with you. I mean, Austin Voth, no, right?
Not extended. He just hasn't been extended far enough. Okay. I mean, and then Wentz gets a lineup that hits 62
lefties. Pitches for Voth his last outing. Maybe he gets slightly bumped, but not worth it. Not worth it.
Wouldn't we just pay like the 800 or 500 more for Wood or Schuster?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right, let's go to catcher then. Where are we peaking?
Assume Will Smith is back in the lineup here. He hits lefties well. I just had it up. Let's see.
Yeah, this is the day Corbin becomes a Corbin, right?
Yep. This is the day. Will Smith, 381 WOBA against lefties this year. Definitely can get there. Lefties against Bieber has not. I'm not shying away from that. He has not been the same guy, and if he's not going to strike people out, I mean, I'm okay getting to Adley Rutschman here. Same thing with Sean Murphy. Texas, we know Texas is going to be, I think, if they're not the most popular stack on the slate, they're second, maybe like behind the Dodgers. But like Jonah Heim against lefty. I know Jonah Heim's like been really struggling, but he's hit lefties well all season long. So
Yep.
I'm actually okay getting to any of those top guys over $4,500.
Okay. Going in the mid-tier range here, I know Justin Steele's been pretty good. Betancourt, though, any interest at $3,800?
Yeah, he's raking. Just much, par for the course for any human being that dons a Rays jersey. You just like gain magical powers, and suddenly you're just the GOAT. Yeah, and he's hitting lefties.
I think
Small
they're the number one
sample.
team in baseball versus lefties too, aren't they?
Yeah, it's them in Atlanta, like pretty much across the board in like every statistical category. Yeah. So it's Tampa 954 OPS, Atlanta 942. Third is Texas, who also gets a lefty here, 821. So there is a 120 point gap between second and third place in OPS.
A lot of power.
A lot of power.
Anybody else a catcher? Obviously, we don't have lineups yet. Zunino has power versus Voth, maybe.
No, he's such a zero. I know what you're saying. In theory, I should probably be more like accepting of it. I just can't. He's been so bad.
That's fine.
Kybert, just because Syndergaard's been bad. Matt Tice.
Tice. Yeah.
He homered the other night. I played him at low ownership on Monday night.
And Lance Lynn's a garbage can.
Yeah, and Lance Lynn against lefties. I'm trying to find the split here. Here it is. Lance Lynn against lefties this year. 342 average, 1,000 OPS, 436 WOBA. Oh, by the way, Shohei Ohtani exists in the world too. So yeah, Tice, probably my favorite punt of the day. At catcher specifically.
Yep, I'm with you there. Let's go to first base.
Ohtani.
How about your top? You got Ohtani, as you mentioned there. You also got Olsen versus Caprillion. Pretty good spot. Yandy Diaz at Steele at $4,800 here. Also a pretty good spot. Freeman against Corbin. I know it's lefty, but I'll include. So your top 4 first basemen here.
I would rank them probably Olsen 1, Ohtani 2, Freeman 3, Yandy Diaz 4. I would say Olsen
coming through with the power.
He has been he's been so insane. This has to be
one of the. Listen, we used to like talk about if you looked at a picture of Yandy Diaz, the man looked like an absolute ox.
Yep.
And you were wondering where the power was. He's on pace to hit like 30 home runs this year. So they finally went to Tampa Bay. Like, you guys should start swinging up a little bit. Use that launch angle, and now they're all hitting home runs, every single one of them. So.
Yep.
I kind of agree with you on the ranking, but Yandy, finally.
Yeah, that wasn't disrespecting Yandy at all. Like I'm very happy for him. He's been awesome. But just very good players above him as well.
Not as good as Yandy, but also good. Harold Ramirez.
Sure. Another year, just gonna hit 300, right? Just casually under the radar.
Yeah, 300. Gonna probably hit 20 home runs out of nowhere.
Yep.
Let's see here.
You talked about Meneses.
Dude, I was going to say, though, I mentioned the last show we did. Meneses is actually hitting righties better than lefties this year, and he's starting to heat up a bit. Still waiting for the power to come around, but I can get behind it.
Syndergaard against righties this year, 300 average allowed, 800 OPS, 346 WOBA.
This is going to be a good game. Start looking to see who the base stealers are for Washington, because Syndergaard, one of the worst in terms of holding runners on first, so... could see some big stolen base numbers here in this game for whomever on Washington runs.
Right.
Let's see. Anybody else at first? Aguilar against Schuster?
No, he was DFA'd.
They let him go. Okay.
Yeah. I would say Jared Walsh as if you want to play an angel stack with lefties, because Lynn has been so bad, but he's also been pretty bad in his own right. So.
Yeah. Okay. Then that's probably it then.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Second base, Simeon against Wentz at 6K.
Yep.
Nico Horner homered off of McClanahan today.
Go figure.
I would still use Albies against Caprillion. I'm not too worried about that. Taylor Walls against lefties has been ridiculous as well.
Okay.
4K for him. So top half of second base is pretty decent. Oh.
Yep. I'll throw Louis. I don't know if you mentioned Luis Garcia. He's pretty good. I'm like, I played a bunch of nationals over the weekend, John, and I'm probably going right back to the well again here. Like, just gonna play a lot of nationals. They're not good,
You
Like
want
they're
you want to hear the Taylor Walls numbers against lefties? I knew they were good, but he's hitting 412, but he's 765 slug and a 1238 OPS. He is 14 for 34 with 7 extra base hits, 2 home runs.
it feels
For Taylor Walls.
Feels quite interesting that Taylor Walls is
he's hitting 189 versus righties. So
okay.
A guy where if they just wouldn't hit him against righties, he would be a Triple Crown winner, basically. So
okay.
Taylor Walls, a 765 slug for Taylor Walls against left-handed pitching this year.
Sounds good. Really happy for Taylor Walls.
Yeah. Rodolfo Castro is down here too, our guy. Yep. Miguel Vargas, a big ISO guy versus lefties that we're fans of here.
Big ISO guy against lefties.
Another one that doesn't hit anything but power. It's certainly another second baseman down here for value that we like. Yep. Never tell you not to play Adam Frazier anymore. I've learned my lesson.
Nope.
$2,600. He's a good player.
I'm going to pull up the splits for you against Bieber, too. Lefties against Shane Bieber this year, 287 average, 790 OPS, 343 WOBA. That's not good. Those are not good numbers. Baltimore has a lot of lefties in their lineup.
Yeah.
And if Frazier's going to continue to lead off, why not? Right? Why not?
100%. The numbers here for... there are pretty good. He's gonna, because like you said, no Ced Mulls, so he's at the top of that lineup for them now. So, anybody else?
Yeah. I don't know what to make of this, but Romy Gonzalez going into Tuesday, homered in back-to-back games, and on Tuesday he is 1 for 2 with a double and a stolen base, RBI run scored. So he has 14 fantasy points for at least for a third straight game. He's over the last 10 hitting 296 with a 977 OPS, $2,400 second baseman. The White Sox are scoring a lot of runs on Tuesday, and they might just look. This is a complete different looking offense with Eli in the middle of it.
Yeah,
and Tim Anderson back 100%. As well.
Yeah, Tim Anderson, Eloy Berger hitting second for them.
Yeah, man.
Vaughn had 3 RBIs tonight, hitting down in the order for whatever reason. So, White Sox are an interesting spot, 100%. That's probably it. Shout out Chris Owings for our guy Justin Vreeland there, just $2,300 just in case.
Yep, he exists in the world.
He exists. A good play. He exists. Third base, Ramirez, Riley. Jung versus lefty. Jung had a good day today.
Yep. Again.
As well. Actually didn't have a good day against the lefty the other day when we played him.
Yep.
It could be a little bit of a bounce back spot here.
Sure.
I didn't mention at the top of the show. Maybe you did, but the DraftKings has given us a little rain graphic here from Chicago.
Yep. I did. I mentioned I didn't obviously dive into it because we don't have a weather report yet. But,
it's early, but something to watch.
Yeah, Jung is definitely the play up here.
Yes.
In the top of the position.
Yes, 100% the play. Could also play Walls at third.
Sure. And you could also play Zach McKinstry. Don't just skip over the god's name.
I was going to say, I got excited about Isaac Paredes.
True, lefty specialist Isaac Paredes.
Yeah, another guy that just hammers lefties. Gunnar Henderson, nice night tonight.
Dude,
$3,600 coming around.
It's kind of just good now, right? I know he last few games back to struggle city, but another big game on Tuesday night.
Yeah. Any other value third baseman for you?
If Berger's in the lineup, there's power. Just in general, Casey Schmidt has a tough spot. Probably can't. Chris Taylor, lefty power. Another guy who just hits lefties for power. Chris Taylor. You can play him at shortstop too if you wanted to. Chris Taylor, 414 WOBA, John. 7 home runs in 48 at-bats against lefties this year.
That seems okay.
7? Oh, that's every 7 at-bats, Chris Taylor is hitting a home run against a lefty.
I think that's what you want. I
Yes,
think that's what you want for your
that
lineup.
is correct. I would agree.
Sounds good there. Just updating on the weather there. So rain is only in the forecast from 1 to 3 p.m.
Okay.
It is isolated thunderstorms. So
Okay.
could just be late starts here.
Wait it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wait it out, something like that. And we don't even know where those isolated storms will be popping up there. But that's just a quick weather update there. Any other third baseman for you?
No, on the short
Yeah,
side.
not really. I agree. Shortstop. Seager, even though it's a lefty, it's fine. Franco versus lefty at 52. Both those
Yes.
guys up over 5K.
Yes.
Fine with both of them.
Absolutely. Franco, I lean Franco with the lefty, but I'm perfectly fine getting to Seager. He went 0 for 5 on Tuesday, but like does not matter.
Yeah,
Josh Jung, to
rarely.
your point, 3 for 5 with a home run and 2 RBIs.
Yeah. Also do have Rodolfo Castro, who is shortstop eligible here if you wanted to go into the mid tier. Just to sort of reiterate those lefty splits for him: 321, 660 slug, 1,000 OPS. All 5 of his home runs have come against left-handed pitching this season for Rodolfo. So great mid tier play at $3,600 here. CJ Abrams at $2,800. We talked maybe a guy with some stolen base potential here. Could be.
Yep, that's
Could
your
be,
guy.
Could be Abrams.
Well, your guy's in the outfield that's going to steal you a base, but Abrams is also eligible.
Correct. Yeah, and then you mentioned Taylor. NATO will probably hit at the bottom of the lineup.
Yep.
2,700. Anybody else?
Nope. Miguel Rojas has like insane BVP against.
Yeah, all those years playing for Miami against Corbin and Washington, right?
I mean, again, everyone
He
knows
was
at this
also a
point
lefty masher for a very long time.
So everyone knows I'm not a BVP guy, but it's just funny seeing Miguel
It's like 60
Rojas.
at bats.
No, it's half. He's 15 of 35, which is a 429 average, but he has 3 bombs off Patrick Corbin.
A guy who doesn't hit home runs.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. So maybe we get a Rojas start here.
Certainly could. All right, let's go on and then finish off in the outfielder, and we'll go make a lineup for everybody here. You talked about it, liking the Angels here against Lynn, always in on Acuna. Rosarena, good steal.
Yep.
Probably in a good spot here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, Steele is a very good pitcher, but and I don't really I'm not entirely interested in stacking the Rays, but I also wouldn't have a single problem getting there. Or if you just want to treat all this as I'll play mini stacks everywhere because they all just crush lefties.
Mini stacks make sense. Lewis Roberts up to $5,300.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, it didn't take too long. JD Martinez though still 47. I know all the numbers are against righties, but it is Patrick Corbin. And as we mentioned on the show this afternoon, in 2019 for an entire season, he had a 900 slugging percentage against left-handed pitching. So. Lefties literally had zero shot of getting JD Martinez out in 2019. Lane Thomas here, of course, has some stolen base potential against Syndergaard. Let's see. What else are you targeting there? Eloy at 39, probably, right?
Why is he still this price? I don't understand why he's still priced this way. Yeah, for sure, Eloy. Conforto as a one-off, I'm fine with.
Moniak lead off here?
Yeah, Moniak. So interesting. So they led Taylor Ward off on Tuesday with a righty on the mound.
Okay.
And he homered to lead the game off. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I'd assume they might go back to Ward if they want to ride the hot hand, so to speak.
Sure.
I like Connor Joe against lefties. He's hit lefties very well this year. I'll pull up the exact splits. And we like Alex Wood, but Connor Joe, 314 average, 4 home runs, 447 WOBA. So Joe, Brent Rooker just absolutely fell off a cliff, but he's hit lefties hard.
We knew at some point, right? Probably gonna.
Yeah. And then there's just a string of these guys. Grossman's in play. Astori.
Grossman's very much in play.
Yeah, Grossman's very much in play. Story hits lefties really
When did
well.
Jose Siri start hitting for power? 4 homers the last 10 games?
Yeah, no, he's also there's also a thing that like he bat flips off pitchers he thinks are racist.
I
So
saw that, yeah.
so if you see him bat flip, he thinks you're racist, which I think is hilarious. But like, yeah, he hits for insane power, and he was doing so prior to his like he initially got injured, and he was like doing it beforehand, and then they were
Yeah.
like, oh, but he has a 403 WOBA against lefties. Shocker, right? Like, because
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
the rest of the race,
everybody in
yeah,
that lineup does. So.
yeah, yep.
But yeah, I just all of a sudden started seeing Jose Siri hit for power. I was like, when? When did that come through? Ozuna versus righties, I think, is what we're looking for. You right? That's
Yeah, he's kind of actually been good against everyone this year.
Okay.
I mean, that's largely due to like late. Let me pull up the
In last 10, he's hitting ridiculous. So
Ozuna this year. So 325 WOBA, 7 home runs against righties. He's hitting for a lot of power, and we know Caprillian's a gas can.
Okay. Any other outfielders?
Yeah, Kill Badoo continues to hit, John.
Okay.
308, 1,000 OPS over his last 10 games, including 2 home runs and a stolen base, which that's what the appeal to a Kill Badoo at 2,500 is. Like, he is a multi-threat guy. Ramon Laureano is, back
Corey
to
Dickerson
doing...
at 2,400
Dude,
against Syndergaard.
Yes. He is like... Dude, I have been locking Corey Dickerson into a lot of lineups lately. The dude just hits, and he's free, and he's hitting in the middle of their lineup.
Yeah.
Homered the other day, 2 for 4 the next day with a double, 1 for 3 with a double the next day and a walk. Like, he just hits in the middle of their lineup, 2,400. And I mentioned the splits for Syndergaard against righties earlier. He's allowing a 300 average. Lefties hitting 297. 820 OPS, 347 WOBA. He doesn't discriminate. He sucks against everybody. So I think Corey Dickerson is a fantastic value. I just wish there was like a little more thump in this lineup. Like, I'm just like looking through. You know what's interesting? Actually, Candelario has been better against righties this year, John. 6 home runs, 354 WOBA for Jeimer Candelario at third base this year. So just throwing that out there. Yeah, just throwing that out there for all of us national believers.
If you had to pick one starting pitcher, Keller or Eflin, where do you go?
Keller for upside, but it's not Keller for upside. He's 8 plus strikeouts and 8 or more strikeouts in 6 straight starts.
All right, so I got Dunning, Keller, Dice, Walls, Dickerson. You got about a minute, so we gotta get a lineup through here.
Olsen 57.
Okay. Third base.
Jung 51.
Okay. 4K and out. 4K for 2 outfielders and a shortstop.
Rodolfo Castro 3,600.
Okay. 4,250.
Eloy Jimenez 39 and Lane Thomas 46. Oh, we're $100 off JD Martinez.
I know, big sad. Let's go Eflin then, and we'll get in JD.
Okay, I like that better.
There it is. Dunning, Eflin, Tice, Olsen, Walls, Jung, Castro, Dickerson, Eloy, and JD Martinez. James and I will be back live at 5 o'clock Eastern, breaking down the main slate for 7 o'clock. Get us in the Discord. We'll talk to you all later.